Welcome back. Today, we step inside the nuclear reactor core itself, exploring the engineering that turns raw uranium into controlled, continuous power. From fuel rods to flowing coolant to failsafe control systems, every single layer in this core tells a story of precision engineering. Enter the orbit and stay unstoppable.
Deep inside a uranium nucleus, the forces holding reality together are fragile. When an atom splits, it violently ejects neutrons, which smash into neighboring atoms, causing them to split and release even more. Left alone, this chain reaction is erratic, chaotic, and completely volatile. Yet to generate electricity, this microscopic volatility has to be harnessed. A power plant demands quiet, relentless stability, a steady, controlled output of energy day after day, year after year. The physical stakes for maintaining that stability are absolute. An active reactor generates thousands of degrees of raw heat and lethal waves of radiation, both of which must be continuously captured and mitigated to prevent catastrophic melting. Taming that reaction is not a matter of mixing chemicals. It is a problem of strict, uncompromising structural engineering. To understand how this is achieved, we have to look at the cavernous space where the reaction actually happens. Before a facility comes online, the core is an empty vessel. It's a massive array of heavy metal pipes, pumps, and valves, sitting dormant, waiting for fuel. The engineering challenge is how to build a physical cage at the macroscopic human scale that is precise enough to dictate the behavior of invisible subatomic particles for decades at a time. You cannot build a structure like that from the top down. You have to start at the smallest possible physical unit and engineer your way up, layer by layer. The foundation of all nuclear power is this object. It's a ceramic cylinder made of enriched uranium dioxide, roughly the size of a gummy bear. Engineers use this specialized ceramic rather than pure metallic uranium because raw metal warps and swells when subjected to extreme heat. The ceramic compound, however, holds its shape. It resists cracking and maintains strict physical dimensions even when bombarded by intense radioactive stress inside an active core. Despite its tiny volume, that single pellet contains the equivalent energy of roughly 1 ton of coal. Getting the chemistry and geometry of this small piece right establishes the rigid, predictable baseline required to build the rest of the reactor. You cannot just pile these ceramic pellets together. They are brittle and must be stacked vertically, then sealed tight inside a hollow protective tube called a fuel rod. Choosing the material for this tube is difficult. It has to withstand searing heat and highly corrosive water, but it also has one absolute requirement. It cannot absorb neutrons, or it would choke the chain reaction. The solution is a zirconium alloy, Zircaloy. It possesses neutron transparency, meaning subatomic particles pass right through the metal casing. Simultaneously, this boundary acts as a physical prison. While neutrons escape, the larger, dangerous radioactive byproducts remain permanently trapped inside. Zircaloy is the specific technology that allows an otherwise hazardous stack of uranium ceramic to be safely handled, transported, and submerged in water. One fuel rod by itself generates very little power. To sustain a continuous chain reaction, it must be positioned in exact proximity to other rods. The rods are grouped together and locked into a rigid architectural matrix, typically a perfect 17 by 17 geometric grid called a fuel assembly. In this matrix, the exact measurements of the empty space between the rods are just as critical as the uranium itself. These calculated gaps ensure that thousands of gallons of water can flow freely past every single metallic surface. This rushing water performs 2 distinct jobs. It acts as a heavy coolant, stripping heat away from the metal to prevent melting, and it serves as a moderator, physically slowing the escaping neutrons down so they are captured by the next rod, continuing the fission process. When constructed, this theoretical grid becomes a towering, monolithic structure standing over 14 feet tall. The invisible, chaotic behavior of the atomic chain reaction is completely directed by the rigid, mathematical spacing of this singular structure. Inside the reactor, a single grid is not enough. Dozens of these towering assemblies are lowered into the empty vessel, sliding perfectly side by side. They interlock to form the final macroscopic core, completely filling the heavy steel pressure vessel with a single continuous lattice. Fully loaded, this interconnected block weighs over 100 tons and possesses enough thermal potential to power entire cities for years without refueling. Millions of individual microscopic splitting atoms are now unified. The raw physics is safely caged by the architecture, operating as one massive synchronized engine. Stepping outside, you can see where that precision engineering is housed, deep within the massive concrete containment domes of the operational facility. The energy that began within a single ceramic pellet the size of your fingertip has been multiplied and stabilized, now pushing out gigawatts of steady electricity onto the national grid. That level of stability doesn't happen by chance. It is a highly unnatural, forced physical state, achieved entirely through exact measurements and uncompromising geometric boundaries. By constraining nature at the atomic level, engineers have built a reliable bridge between subatomic volatility and the massive energy demands of modern civilization. A nuclear reactor is ultimately an industrial heat factory. At its core, the goal is to harness the violent reality of a fission chain reaction and extract thermal energy on a massive scale. The origin of this heat sits in the palm of a hand. These small ceramic uranium fuel pellets are stacked into long metal rods. Once a chain reaction begins, splitting atoms inside these pellets release a relentless, staggering volume of thermal energy. To convert that raw energy into electricity on the grid, engineers need a way to harvest the heat and carry it away from the reactor exactly as fast as it is generated. The chosen medium is highly purified water. It acts as a coolant to capture the heat, while simultaneously serving as a moderator, slowing down loose neutrons to keep the chain reaction going. Without a constant, highly dense flow of this liquid absorbing the thermal output, controlling the reactor becomes completely impossible. But this setup immediately creates a strict thermodynamic problem. The outer surface of the active fuel rods routinely exceeds 300 degrees Celsius. Under normal atmospheric conditions, water boils and turns to vapor at exactly 100 degrees. This diagram contrasts dense liquid water with sparse, scattered steam. Boiling inside the core triggers this phase change. Gas lacks the physical mass to efficiently absorb heat from glowing rods. Density loss also stops neutron moderation, instantly destabilizing the core's finely tuned physics. To make this system work, engineers have to solve a strict contradiction. They must force the water to absorb hundreds of degrees of nuclear heat without ever allowing a single drop to transition into a gas. Stepping inside the massive primary containment structure gives a sense of the extreme environment built to handle this process. Primary coolant surging into this vessel functions as a high-velocity, highly engineered thermodynamic pipeline. Millions of gallons of water are continuously forced down the inner walls of this steel vessel, banking at the bottom and surging violently up through the very center. As it rushes upward, the liquid navigates an obstacle course of precision-aligned arrays. These vertical fuel assemblies hold the uranium, and the water must flow directly through them. The fluid physically scrubs the extreme heat off the metal exterior of these rods, never actually touching the radioactive fuel sealed inside. The stability of an entire regional electrical grid relies on maintaining this exact fluid environment under immense stress. Zooming into the microscopic level reveals the precise boundary of this heat transfer, the polished Zircaloy metal cladding. Separated by a fraction of a millimeter, blistering heat radiates outward from the uranium inside, pushing directly against the aqueous fluid rushing past the exterior. The temperature of this metal sits well above 300 degrees Celsius, yet the water touching it remains a liquid. The mechanism suppressing the boiling point is 15.5 megapascals of engineered system pressure. To understand the scale of that force, imagine the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level and multiply it by 150. This diagram tracks water's thermodynamic state. Extreme pressure forcibly shifts the boiling point to a higher temperature. The crushing weight clamps down on water molecules, denying them space to expand into gas. Heat transfers perfectly, but steam bubbles are suffocated. The pressure vessel functions as an active, continuous physical constraint, forcing the laws of thermodynamics to bend so the reactor can operate. Pulling back from the microscopic scale, the entire core operates in a state of high-pressure tension. The ultra-dense, superheated liquid water absorbs the thermal energy and exits through massive pipes at the top of the reactor vessel. This schematic maps the dual-loop architecture. captive pressurized primary water travels to a steam generator, shedding extreme heat into a secondary fluid. The waters never mix. In this secondary loop, drastically lower system pressure finally allows the water to flash into steam, spinning the turbines. Isolating the violent phase change of boiling to a secondary, non-radioactive loop provides the primary thermodynamic failsafe of the PWR design. Capturing all of these invisible forces on an industrial scale required immense precision from the earliest engineers of the atomic age. Nuclear power relies on the physics of splitting the atom, but it requires an equal mastery of extreme fluid dynamics. Powering a modern city depends on maintaining this microscopic equilibrium, balancing blistering thermal energy against crushing physical pressure, second by second, without fail.
Inside a nuclear reactor, power generation takes the form of a violent microscopic cascade. It relies on a principle called neutron multiplication. When one atom splits, it releases neutrons that strike and split 2 more atoms, which then split 4, then 8, and so on. In an unregulated supercritical state, energy output doubles in fractions of a single second. To harness that kind of mathematical velocity, it must be contained within massive, heavy industry. These facilities manage a precarious multiplying equation, holding the reaction back from the edge of a runaway event. Keeping that reaction steady requires constant, immense operational oversight. Human operators sit at the center of a sprawling network of analog gauges and sensors, monitoring the core's temperature and pressure. This creates a central engineering paradox, designing a safety mechanism fast enough to outrun subatomic particles that react in milliseconds. The solution lies in the physical scale of the plant. Deep inside the containment dome sits the reactor vessel itself. Sitting directly on top of that radioactive core is the physical failsafe. These numerous tubes house heavy control rod drive mechanisms suspended right above the active fuel. The safety of this microscopic quantum reaction relies on a mechanical solution hanging right over its head. When a system anomaly occurs, the operators, or the automated safety protocols, trigger an instantaneous emergency shutdown, known as a scram. During normal operation, the control rod mechanisms are held above the core by powerful electromagnetic latches. The system is designed so that an active, continuous flow of electricity is required simply to keep the rods suspended. If power to the plant is cut, or the main scram circuit is interrupted, those electromagnets instantly die. In the event of an absolute blackout, gravity takes over the shutdown process. Tons of metal are released into free fall, plunging straight down into the precise geometric slots of the reactor core. The reactor's last line of defense is designed to deploy automatically the moment electrical and human systems fail. To see how that free-falling metal stops the reaction, we must look at the precise geometry of the fuel assemblies waiting below. The rods are forged from specialized materials like boron, silver, or cadmium, elements known as neutron poisons. As the rods penetrate the exact grid where the reaction is occurring, they enter a sprawling, highly active environment. These poisons possess massive atomic cross-sections. To a wandering neutron, they act as giant targets compared to the much smaller nuclear fuel atoms. The rods act like subatomic sponges, absorbing the particles required to continue the fission cascade. In a fraction of a microsecond, the runaway neutron flux slams into this physical barrier. Starved of fuel, the reaction is forcefully suppressed. By dropping heavy metal into the core, the rods rewrite the quantum environment, forcing the exponential multiplication equation to collapse. Inside the reactor, the immediate aftermath of a scram is absolute. The neutron flux is extinguished. The core achieves a subcritical state, unable to sustain a chain reaction on its own. This chart shows the power output during a scram. Note the sudden, sheer vertical drop when the rods fall. The line transitions into a slow, tapering tail, because engineers must still manage the lingering decay heat left in the inert fuel. It takes incredible heavy industry and massive steel components to dictate how microscopic particles behave. The certainty of being able to stop a reaction using the simplest force in the universe remains the core achievement of nuclear engineering.
The view from here is breathtaking. Command, we are in position and ready for the next phase. If you liked the video, subscribe and comment the topic you want next. Thanks for watching, and stay unstoppable.